6:46 coming out of 6:47 in Trinidad and Tobago. A bit of a change in our schedule because we're going to leave the community mediation for a bit later on. Let's talk now about an event of champions. It's an event of champions boot camp. That is the title of an event that's happening on Friday at the Hyatt Regency. It's targeting entrepreneurs and features Trinidad and Tobago's very own Forbes favorite, I suppose, Camilita, the founder of the event, from picking up bottles in the Beetham landfill to being featured in Forbes magazine, BBC Business, News, Sky TV, and many more. And we're proud to have her right here on TV6. She's coming back home to share her experience. She's here alongside Shane Ram, who is the executive coach and consultant, and husband Andrew Nuttall, entrepreneur, property investor, and always a bit embarrassed to say it, supporter of Derby County in English football. I don't know why he's embarrassed, because we actually say we support West Indies cricket still, and we're second to last in the test rankings. Derby County, for those who don't know, were English champions in 1972 and 1975. In between the time when Liverpool were just about catching themselves. Manchester United were in the second division in that era. So just put it in context a little bit. So we all have our great eras, like West Indies cricket. What can we do? Good morning to you all. Good to have you here on the program with us. Let me ask Shane Ram, before we hear from our other guests and our feature speaker and so on, and our Derby County lament in a little while. Shane, just give us the basic information on the event. Can people still register it for it? Can they participate? How do they do so?
Okay, Fazil. So it's Friday, 4th May at the Hyatt. Registration starts at 8 a.m. The event goes from 9 till 4 p.m. People can register in one of two ways. One is at www.eventsofchampions.com, or they can call my phone number directly at 351-5000. There's some seats still available, so people can still register, and if we have seats available at the door as well. So we try to accommodate as much people as possible, because we really believe that Trinidad needs this, needs the training, and this is a boot camp in terms of getting the stuff, the tools, the strategies, the ideas to grow your business. So we want to make it available for those entrepreneurs who really want to grow. We say quadruple your sales, grow your brand, not only locally but internationally. We feel that Trinidad has a lot to offer the world, and so people can still register.
Sure. And is there a deadline for registration? Is there a deadline for people to sign up for the event?
I would say by the end of tomorrow, so Thursday, right, would be great.
Essentially, because for planning purposes would certainly help. So, Camilita Nuttall, as we said, your life story itself is one of adversity to triumph and so on. What will you be imparting to those, because people always talk about the rags to riches, and they think, well, okay, if them could do it, I could do it too, but often it's not as easy as that. What sort of advice will you be imparting?
Well, I will be teaching entrepreneurs what it takes to really build, sustain, and develop a global brand. I will be sharing my own personal story from Beach and hustling on the public dump on the Beetham, close to the Beetham. I lived on the Beetham as well, to going to England, starting in law school, building a global business, 2 global businesses, creating 2 global brands, being featured in Forbes, BBC Business News, being featured in Sky News, and last week, Forbes Books asked me to write my first featured book with them. That's a big deal.
Right.
But I'm going to be teaching entrepreneurs the journey that I've been through and what it takes to become what you want to become. It takes work, let me tell you. It's work. It's hard work, it is commitment, it's dedication, it's belief in yourself, and everything else to do in between. So I'm going to be very brutal, I'm going to be very blunt, because people see me and they think, oh my God, if she can do it, I can do it. Yeah, you could do it, but are you willing to do the work?
Which is why it's a boot camp, because that is what a boot camp is supposed to be about, isn't it?
Indeed.
Give you the brass tacks. And Andrew Nuttall, in that sense, the question will be, sometimes you wonder if people are really understand what a boot camp is, in the sense that it's intended to be not necessarily aggressive and harsh, but give you the reality. And from your perspective, is this something that you think will actually resonate with those who will participate, as far as benefiting from the information that will be provided?
Oh yes, definitely. The whole idea of the boot camp is to give people belief that they can become a champion. So the event of champions isn't about the people on the stage. It's about the people in the audience. Because anybody can become a champion, but it's having the determination, it's having the work ethic, and be able to push through no matter what. And we will be talking from the stage, as Camilita will be talking about her story, we'll be talking about what we do and what we've done to get to where we are. We haven't just gone to university, we haven't just gone and read some books, we've actually got the t-shirt, we've been in the trenches, we've got ourselves cut bloody, out there and made it happen. So we teach people the reality of how to move forward and what you can do. And we've helped a lot of people go from struggling points to financial freedom. And that's what we're about, is helping people to attain their dreams, their goals, their desires on there. That's what those boot camps are.
Shane Ram, as far as putting this entire event together and coming up with the philosophy behind it, tell us a bit about that journey.
Well, I participated before the Event of Champions Bootcamp actually twice in Toronto and London, and the event is just very different. It's hands-on. It's not like I feel good, that was a good seminar. It's working knowledge, which I feel that we require in Trinidad. And with the state of the economy, we all know that small and medium enterprises is the key to getting out of this situation. So that was really the idea. And we really too believe that the event, a lot of it has to do with proper networking. We believe that you can grow your business, you grow your brand by the right partnerships. Indeed. And that's actually what happens too at the event. So you're a photographer, whatever you do, we could connect with people directly, and that is a key feature of the Event of Champions that is really very different from other events out there. So we connect, we build business right there. So we believe that Trinidad has a lot to share with the world. And what are the key steps, what's the right information to get out there, and for people to see beyond Trinidad and Tobago. I was speaking with someone recently who's the communications director for a consultant, and I said, we need to get people seeing outside of Trinidad. She says, are you kidding me? Sometimes we can't even get people to see outside of Chaguanas, right? So the world is getting smaller, but it's still huge, and I believe that we can be a global player if we utilize all of who we are. And we talk about that at the Event of Champions. It's not only that you can make pepper sauce or you can manufacture this, is that you have knowledge. And now we are in the knowledge economy, how to monetize your knowledge instead of just manufacturing stuff.
And in a limited time frame, you're not going to be able to even scratch the surface of what's going to be happening on Friday. But Camilita Natal, from that perspective, how much of it depends on your attitude? Because there are people saying, well, as Shane Ram correctly pointed out, that they will talk about, well, this issue right here, I have to deal with it, or that person is up against me, this government don't like me, or the previous government don't like me, and everything is against me.
Yes.
How do you look past that and see the bigger picture, see something that you say, well, this is not what I'm meant to be, I'm meant to be something a lot bigger than that? How do you get past all of the many different issues right around you?
Because I had to personally get over that myself growing up in Beach. But my mother used to always say something to me. She used to say, drunk or sober, mind your own business. And I will never forget those words. And I used to think, well, why is my mother saying that? She's not advocating people to be drunk. But she was focusing on, you need to focus on
not advocating people to be drunk?
No.
Well, at least it's not carnival season.
But she was advocating, she wanted people to understand, you need to focus on you. I had to deal with my mindset. That was my biggest thing. I'm black, I'm a woman, I'm from the Caribbean, my English wasn't the best, and I had to deal with all of that to get into Forbes, to do all of these things. What I want people to understand more than anything else, regardless of what's going on around you, because stuff is going to happen, the economy happens, business happens, politics happens, everything happens around you. Your job is to focus on what you're doing and how you can impact people's lives. There's a saying, if you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. I teach something, and I'm going to be teaching this on Friday, called 7 Steps to 7-Figure Sales. One part of that is having a customer plan versus a business plan. Young entrepreneurs need to understand, focus on, let your brand, your product, your service be led by your customers and not be led by your product. But focus on building a brand, because people buy into brands, not necessarily products. And these are some of the things I'm going to be teaching on Friday.
Which suggests that there should really be a lot of enthusiasm for the event. At least you didn't have to deal with being part of the Windrush generation. The issues that are going on that are going on right now in the UK. One minister gone already, another one could be gone anytime soon. But before we wrap up, because we have the news coming up, Shane Ram, very, very quickly, just remind everybody again of the contact information if they want to be part of the event.
Okay, so online at www.eventofchampions.com, or you can call me directly at 351-5000. We really want to encourage you to come down to the Hyatt on Friday the 4th to the Event of Champions.
All right, thank you very much. And before we wrap up, big up the Rams of Derby County. Who knows them? No. So there's dispute in the house, in the Nuttall household. This should be a very interesting boot camp because
when you come on Friday to boot camp, you're gonna see the real fight.
Stay tuned. Ding. Let's go to the news.